All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's get the show on the road. The moderator is now in charge. I'm off stage. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, sir. Good morning, everyone. Leanne, are you good? So it's a privilege to be doing this session. It's a session that I'm quite excited about because at the Tourism Business Council of South Africa, we talk a lot about SMEs because we recognize that SMEs are actually the backbone of tourism. We do not like the idea that SMEs are peripheral to tourism. They are really the backbone of the supply in tourism, especially when it comes to issues like geographic spread, when it comes to issues like bringing onto the market unique products so that we don't just continue to offer the usual commodities that we offer. SMEs play a critical role in that. And so we at TBCSA take them quite seriously. And I'm very grateful to my colleagues on the board of TBCSA and the CEO, Chafiwa, and the program committee for the amount of time that they've dedicated to this conversation. It's an important conversation. I'd actually wish that this would happen when the Deputy Minister for Small Business was still here, because the message I wanted to convey to our Department of Small Business Development is that tourism SMEs are SMEs as well. And they shouldn't look at them as being SMEs and tourism SMEs. Tourism SMEs are SMEs as well, and they need as much support from the Department of Small Business Development as they get from our own department, the Department of Tourism, for which we are incredibly thankful. So the conversation we're going to have this morning is about, it's titled Future Forward. We're going to be talking about issues of financing for SMEs, which, as the Deputy Minister of Small Business Development alluded to in a talk earlier, is a critical issue. It's not the only issue facing small businesses, we all know this, but it is a critical issue. So before we delve in, I'm just going to ask my panel here, my colleagues, just to please introduce themselves and the organization they come from. I'm not going to ask you to make any opening remarks for a start, because I want to turn this conversation around. I want the conversation to start that side and come this way, because typically, when we have conversations like this, we tend to focus too much on the supply side. And what you see in front here is the supply side. I want this conversation to be as much about the demand side as possible. And for that reason, I'm going to start with you, the entrepreneurs, because you represent demand. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want us to take something of a problem-solving approach to this discussion, so that it doesn't become an information dump where we tell you about all the programs that are available and how they work and that kind of stuff. You probably have had that many, many times. And you will come across that when you know the panel that's sitting here. But we really want it to be a conversation, not talking at you, but talking with you, so that we understand what the issues are that you are dealing with as entrepreneurs when it comes to this important subject of access to finance. And then these experts who are sitting in front here are going to help us navigate, some of those issues that you're facing, and hopefully come to some kind of way forward that's helpful to you. So let me start at the far left. Leanne, please, very briefly. Our time has been reduced, but we are entrepreneurs. We know how to work with the little that we have, Yeah. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Septi. Good morning, everybody. It's difficult to see everybody out there with all the bright lights. My name is Leanne Back, and I am a director at BDO. And BDO is a full-service accounting, auditing, advisory, tax, and business outsourcing provider. I am joined in the audience today by some of my colleagues. In particular, one of my colleagues, his name is Bukula, and he, together with his colleagues within our business services and outsourcing division, have prepared the most amazing document called, I'm going to write it with, The Secrets of Successful Business Funding. Now, I would like, I'm doing a quick punt here. Yesterday, you would have got this tourism trends report on your desk. If you didn't get one, they are outside. But I'd like you to go to the very back page. And on the very back page is a QR code. And there is a wonderful document there for you on the secrets of successful business funding. So I recommend you go and have a look at it. There's a lot of good tips. And yeah, so but stop that punt. I just want to say from my perspective, in terms of my role and my team's role in the tourism sector, we do feasibility studies, we do business plans, and we help tourism businesses get off the ground, make acquisitions, move forward, and grow their businesses. So,
Thanks,
thank
Leanne.
you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Kagisho Bapela. I'm the head of tourism and film at the Industrial Development Corporation. So I think I'll leave it there for now.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. My name is Sabelo Ntshangase. I'm the provincial manager for SEDFA in the Northwest. I think those maybe might not be familiar with the name. SEDFA is a merger between SEDA, which was a Small Enterprise Development Agency, and SEFA, Small Enterprise Finance Agency, together with the CBDA, Cooperative Development Bank. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Veroshen Naidoo, the Chief Investment Officer of Business Partners Limited, one of the leading risk financiers within the SME market.
Cool. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sandile Philip. I'm the head of sales at F&B Commercial Lending. I literally take my hat off to TBCSA for a gathering like this.
He's a very practical man.
Making sure that actually all the stakeholders involved in the funding space have an opportunity to share knowledge and demystify some of the issues that are related to funding. So I always say DFI plus banks equals transformative scale within the SMME space. So I'm looking forward to the engagement. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My name is Septi. I come from an outfit called Rendzo Network based in Randburg. So this is the contract, if you wish, that we've been given by the organizers of this session. I'm going to read it out to you because at the end of this session, you will be the judge whether we've actually delivered on the contract. In terms of the expected outcomes for you, the attendees, I got 4 or 5. This panel must give you a clear understanding of available funding options, and I think Leanne has already started in that direction. The second one is that we should give you practical guidelines to strengthen applications. The third, awareness of barriers and how to overcome them. And God, don't we have many of those? So this expert panel here will help us to navigate those barriers. The fourth is new connections with funders and advisors. Leanne comes from an advisory firm. Some of my colleagues here come from DFIs, commercial banks, business support organizations. They are here for you to interact with. And the last one is actionable next steps for your businesses. So you'll be the judge at the end of this session whether we've delivered on that contract in full or in part. So before we start, here we have DFIs, business support organizations, business advisory organizations, but this is not the sum total of players in the funding space, right? There are others. So I want to check in the audience. Are there any among you who would identify yourselves as angel investors? Angel investors. Do we have any angel investors in the room? Now, this is why I wanted the Department of Small Business Development to be here, because one of the biggest gaps in SME financing in South Africa is in that space. So all SMEs gravitate towards commercial banks, DFIs, and these other institutions, and we have a lacuna when it comes to angel investing. And what we find in many countries is that that is a very big part of financing SMEs. Let me check if there's another group here. Do we have venture capitalists people identify themselves as venture capitalists in the room? Okay, so we don't have venture capitalists yet. Do we have any people who identify themselves as fintechs in the room? So, the point I'm trying to make with that is that this conversation that we're going to have is going to be a rich conversation, but it's not going to be complete without us taking that whole full, perspective of who, entrepreneurs and SMEs can go to for financing. So let's go. Let me see by show of hands, how many of us here identify themselves as entrepreneurs? Whether it's in tourism, fantastic. So the majority of the people in the room are entrepreneurs, fantastic. That's good to hear. So let me ask, I said I'm going to start the discussion your side. I want to start with demand. I'm sitting with supply here, I want to start with demand. How many of you, in the recent 1 year, let's say, have attempted to raise financing for your business? Okay, so there's quite several who have attempted to raise financing for their businesses in the room. And my second question is, what type, there will be a roving mic. Sorry, I'm doing this unconventionally. It usually starts here and goes the other way. So I'm starting it the other way and I'm bringing it here. How many of you have attempted to approach what type of financial institution, have you approached for your efforts to raise financing? Let's get a roving mic here, please. Let's get a roving mic here. Yeah, please give, so we'll just go in that line, the three ladies that side. What type of financial institution have you approached?
Thank you very much. My name is Grace Ibarra. I'm from Hayani Guest House in Polokwane. I'm running a guest house. 20 years down the line, I'm still an SMME. Why? Because I'm not getting the financial assistance that I need. I have approached almost half of the funders who are there, except MEM here and business partners. I'm with business partners now. I've approached FNB. I've approached SEDFA. I've approached NEF. I'm still waiting. I have talked to the minister, SMMEs. I have talked to the DM. DM, she is there, she knows us very well, SMMEs. But nothing is happening. We are told about the criteria which we are not meeting. We are told we have been approved for funding. The next day, we are disqualified. And we ask ourselves, what is it that we are supposed to do as tourism entrepreneurs? And I'm still saying 4 years down the line, Mr. Chifiwa, we are back
just make it quick, ma'am.
We are back here.
Time,
yes, we are back here. We are hearing about the same things, funding for tourism as SMMEs, but nothing is happening. So we are saying SMMEs, we are on our own. Tourism SMMEs, we are on our own.
Okay, ma'am,
we are
thank
using
you.
our own fundings to grow our businesses,
Yeah,
and we rely on Mr. Chipiwa TBCSA to assist us. Thank you very much.
Madam, yeah, okay. So thank you so much. I know you spoke with passion because that's your personal experience, and this is exactly what I want this conversation to be about. I don't want us, to have theoretical conversations here about things we already know. So my panel here is going to be noting your concerns or your questions, your comments, and they're going to be responding. I'm going to guide them to respond to that. And there was a second lady, and then there was a third one here, and the fourth one. Then yeah, okay, let me see how we play that. Yeah, the second lady. That side, okay, yeah. But please, good people, I asked one simple question. What type of, institution have you approached? And what has your experience been? Very briefly, please, because we need to give as many people, including the panel, an opportunity to respond. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, good morning. My name is Carol Nake, the owner of Tinyiko Kruger Lodge in Maloth Park, Mpumalanga. I think it's a good question, and for us as SMEs, we are here because we hope maybe one day our prayers will be answered. Applying for our businesses to grow, because we've been small businesses. I'm asking myself, I'll be a small businesses until when? That question is in me.
So, ma'am, which,
Because we
which
don't-
financial institution have you approached and what was your experience?
I've approached NEF, I've approached the banks, which I cannot name it. I've approached green tourism incentive. And then they came, they did everything. But even today, from 2022, I'm still waiting. Nothing is happening. Thank you.
Yeah. So panel, please, if you could just be taking insights from the questions, because I'm going to ask you to respond. I want this to be practical. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Rosemary van Staden. I'm the chairperson of the National Accommodation Association and the director on the board of Tourism Business Council. Everybody is sick and tired of me because for so many years I've applied with NEF, with CFR. They're useless. They're useless.
Okay, people,
They
let's
don't come
let's
back
come it
to-
up. Sorry, no. This is a serious conversation. Please, guys,
So
let's just listen to that.
no, so nobody come back to you. CFR for 2 years. Olga, that was working here at Sun International, wanted to buy my guest house. You all know my story. And CFR wait, or NEF, they wait for 3 months. The day before your financials expire, then they want new ones. It cost me 65,000 Rand per year for 2 years to give every 3 months financials. So that claim I'm going to put in because they need to pay me the money because they don't help me. Then, and I've got a good lawyer. And then,
Rosemary, please.
no, I'm still waiting for your call, Septi. We had a meeting and you said, I'll call you in that week.
You're in trouble.
I take you back to a meeting 3 months ago.
I thought I'd brought myself some water here. I can't find it.
You didn't keep your word. And the other thing is, they wait till a day before your offer to purchase expire. Then you must go to your lawyer again and pay 2,500 or 3,500 to get a new OTP. Then they come and they push you down and they make you an offer. 15 November, I received, my lawyer received a call from Rendani, from CFR, and to say, oh, now the consent use is not right now. Now we must rezone. My lawyer got all the things in place, R1 million. I don't have R1 million. And now, if I get that R1 million, it's not to say I'm going to get the money. So, where's the audit? We want to see who was helped. We want to see what happened to that money. And we want to see people that are successful. But otherwise, this whole thing is wasting our times. And so
Thank
many
you.
guest houses
I
are
need
up
to
for
ask you
sale.
to wrap up, please.
I do understand.
Rosemary, yeah.
So I just want to tell you, there are so many guest houses up for sale. And what are you going to do? The Grand Prix is coming. We've got 3 years of very good things. We had the problems when it was the soccer. And then people started up guest houses and things. Now, you're not going to have enough place in 3 years if all of us are closing down because hotels
I'm going to have to cut you, Rosemary.
You're
Thank you, my
welcome.
dear. Thank you. I really do want these guys, I mean, these guys carry a lot of knowledge. I want to give them ample time to deal with those issues. And I want to give, you can see how many hands are shooting up. So please, let me plead with you to really keep your interventions quite brief.
Okay.
You know,
Can I go for it, Chair?
No, wait.
Okay.
Oh, you want to go because you have a mic? No, it doesn't work like that. I think there was someone there, and then there's a gentleman who was before you. There's a lady, Budi, and then there's a gentleman.
It's okay.
And then I'm going to stop it there and just get some reflections this side. I don't want my panel to be attacked in your interventions. Just state the question and the issue and the experience, and then they'll respond, you know, because they are experts. Yes, sir. Oh, lady, sorry, ma'am, I can't say. The light is very bright in my face here. Sorry, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Not a problem. Thank you so much. My name is Queen. I'm the founder of Focus Travel and Tours. So when I started the business, I did approach most of the banks, including IDC. So I must say, the business have made it up to this far because of the support that we've received from the IDC and some of the TMCs in the country. So how it was supported is that we did approach IDC. They did see the potential in the young women running the business. They put us on the system as one of their supplier. And after putting us on the system, they understood that it's just a small company. There are no funds. So some companies will approach them. The first thing that they'll like obviously you're a small company, mostly it might happen you don't have funds. You cannot run a business with expectation of receiving payment in 3 months or whatsoever. But with that support, at the same time, they gave us the support and to make sure the business runs, they pay us. And from there, the business is pushed, it's doing very well. Last year, they did approach us again for some skills, supplier development that they had, and they give us some funds that we receive from them. So I might say from my side, the business has been doing well through their support and other TMCs. So thank you.
Well, that is fantastic. Thank you. Ma'am, thank you. I really appreciate what you've just done, because I think where there is compliment, let's give compliment, right? Let's have a mature conversation here. So we can't just raise matters of concern, but where you've really had a great experience, please share that, because I always say these are human beings, they also need encouragement, all right? So I think, some of your institutions, except BDO and business partners, have been mentioned by name, so maybe let me come to you and get you to respond. Who wants to go first? Shall I start with you?
Yeah. Thank you so much, and thanks again for the feedback. And I like how you turned it around in terms of it needs to be a conversation. We wouldn't be sitting here and just be telling. It's good to get the feedback. We chatted earlier. I like the fact that if you look at the panel that's sitting here, it's different institutions that are filling a gap that others cannot fill, but we here to collaborate. You have DFIs, and I like the feedback you've given. So, ma'am, on the far right, you've mentioned that you've applied for funding at numerous banks, and the feedback has been the same. And you also sound like you're frustrated of being labeled as SME after 20 years. I think for me, what I'm picking up from you, there is an information gap. And in engaging with my colleagues, I said, it's quite unfortunate that we are sitting on the other side as so-called experts. Reality is, for our economy to thrive and be successful, for us as banks, financial institutions, there is no business without you guys doing well. So it is imperative for us that we create an enabling environment, that we support you, that whatever information gap, because for me it appears that you wouldn't be getting the same response from different financial institutions. It means there is an information gap, there is an education gap in terms of how does a bank evaluate your funding. And we need to give you that feedback of how do you prepare your business to be fundable. And I'm hoping that next year when we sit, we're not going to be sitting here, that there will be stalls in respective areas where different financial institutions will be able to demystify and close the gap that exists. Because what I'm understanding, we don't have a funding issue. I think there is an information gap issue for you to understand, for us as banks, to fund your business, what's required. I think what I like as well is, as financial institutions, we want to create an ecosystem. First of all, where we utilize the services of tour guides, of transfers, we want to use our clients. So I like what IDC is doing, which is something we promote within First Rand as well, that we should use our clients and support our clients. So if we are traveling, we should utilize B&Bs from within our clients, put our money where our mouths are and support them. So that is the environment and the commitment that we are giving, that we are going to do more in terms of educating entrepreneurs within the tourism sector to close the gap, so that situations where you are declined without an understanding can be reduced.
Thanks, Bert. I will also invite you, Leanne and business partners, just to give general comment. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. My one, I think I want to respond to the lady from Polokwane and the lady regarding the no response from SEDFA. I must say, first of all, I'm very sorry about that experience. I'm walking in the stage with confidence after I've seen quite a lot of clients shaking my head, saying thank you for the approval. I've got my approval letter, I've got my approval letter. So I was thinking that's the type of compliment I'll be getting. And I got a shock of my life. Ma'am, I think I want to mention this. We are the new organization which started at the 1st of October, simply because of the reasons of inefficiency which we've identified. And the government is very serious about addressing those issues. So SEDFA and SEDA, they are one organization now. So the challenges of pre-investment, maybe was saying here that she needs to prepare the financial statement, it costs her money. That is the role of the pre-investment in our unit. And I want to state it this one very clear. When you interact with the official, you're not getting help. You've got the right to look for the district manager or the regional manager in the offices. We are the organization that has got offices in each and every district in the country. So every district has got the regional manager or branch manager. So you've got a right to say you're not happy about the service and you lodge a formal. And we've got a turnaround time of 48 hours in respecting to the customer complaint. So after this session, I will definitely take your contact. I will link you with a relevant official and I will work with you with them until the finalization of your application. Same to you regarding, you really don't need to incur those costs of redoing the financials. One of our pre-investment deliverables is pre-funding. Pre-funding including, can be a feasibility study, it can be a business plan development, financial viability analysis to visit your business and advise you accordingly until we do the submission to the committee. So now the advantage you are having, you will be working with the business development support and investment officer at the same time. No one is going to tell you the business plan is of poor quality because it's going to be developed by the same unit. So I will also take your contact details. I will make sure that I contact you because we've met because of this reason. We are the organization that is mandated to change the life of the MSMEs on the ground there. That's why we've got a lot of grant funding. My disappointment, program director, is coming from that in this province, past 18 months, I've dispersed about 39 million rand to the SMMEs. In the 39 million rand, 100% grant. So I was not expecting this, but to come up with them so that we'll be able to address them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we'll go to ITC and then business partners and BDO.
All right. No, thank you. I think one of the reasons I keep attending these events is to collect information because sometimes this information doesn't filter through for us to be able to adapt what we do. But at the same time, I appreciate the compliments that come through in terms of what we've been able to do. I think one of the things that I found encouraging is that one of my clients, Indalo Hotel, is also here exhibiting. So I do have some testimonials of the work that we've done, but also the green tourism incentive that the lady referred to. I will note that because I chair that committee, but these things come after they've been looked through. But one of the concerns that I always have is the fact that institutions like ourselves are, number one, not approachable and also not accessible. Because if you think about the SMME sector, you generally don't have capacity to provide the level of information that we expect from a major corporation. So you don't have an army of accountants, lawyers, and everyone who's going to combine things. And I'm glad that SEDFA has emphasis on pre-investment support that allows you to prepare your documents. On our side, we're still working on those support services, but our regional offices tend to have that kind of support. But really, the issue is that with these conversations, we are able to go back, and with every annual conference, we need to come back and report on what has changed since the last time. So feel free to express your frustrations, get our contact details. I pride myself in being very responsive in terms of being able to tell you what you need to do and marshal the teams to make sure that we can have more success stories with every other. So we are open for information gathering, and we need guidance on how we can improve the service.
Thank you, sir. So business partners and PDO, please.
Thank you, Program Director. I mean, it feels nice to respond without being slated, so, well, yet. So I'm going to take a very different approach to this question. I think it's important to understand that during COVID, the travel and tourism sector suffered the most. It's actually still one of the sectors that's recovering. And I think all the colleagues here share the same sentiment. It contributes at the moment about 11.3% of employment in South Africa. And it's an opportune time for us to actually invest in this industry to grow it further than the current GDP. So, I mean, our doors are all open. Many of the tourism businesses are still recovering. So while recovering also, you don't want to inject too much of capital in that business and burden it. So it's still early stages. We do see the need, and I can assure you that all financing doors are open, and it's one of the sectors that we want to invest in.
Thank you. That's reassuring. BDO?
Thank you, thank you. I would just like to point out to everybody that the funders, the financiers, are businesses themselves. They need to get a return on the investment that they're putting into the businesses. And they also need to assess the risk. They need to rate the risk to the return, exactly like you do when you assess your business. So you need to make sure that you respond to the specific requirements of the different funders as well, because they all have different needs and different requirements, and they're trying to get their own objectives. So your business plan or your application needs to be tailored for each application, and you need to make sure that you identify the right funder to match your business. And then finally, with Rosemary talking about the fact that she needed information, I do want to urge all of you SMMEs to make sure that you do link in with the various training courses that become available for SMMEs, just on how to manage your business and how to manage documentation, how to manage information, making sure that you have that information readily available, because the funders will be coming to you and asking you for that. So the more you keep up to date, the more information you have, the easier it is for you to actually get funding. And when they come and do their due diligence, it's easier for them to actually assess it all. So just take some responsibility too in terms of managing your businesses.
Thank you. I mean, I think just the responses that we've got from this first round of questioning already indicate, share quite some rich information, and I really quite like, the emphasis, by business partners that they're open to doing business with us in tourism, because quite frankly, sometimes the sense that we get is that, it becomes people feel too risk averse when it comes to tourism, and so to hear you say that is quite reassuring. Okay, so we'll take another round from this side. There were several hands this side. So the gentleman here, those who are helping us with mics. Sorry, yeah, I hear some protest at the back, but yeah, I'll come to you. Let's start, okay. Sorry, the light is not helping me. Sorry, sir, I just want to, yeah, I'll come to you, please. So we start with the gentleman here, and then there's a lady, I think, yeah, at the edge. So we come to the lady, and then we go to the protesting gentleman at the back, and give him a mic, please, so he has something to say. So let's start with you, sir. Please go ahead. Please keep it short.
I'm going to be short. Good morning, everyone, and thanks so much to the chairperson of the board to bring that panel in front. For me to start my business, I had to resign from work in order to have a capital. Being a staff member, I started working at F&B. I mean, it was Barclays in the 80s. And it changed under my time during that time. I got a business to buy a bottle store. They couldn't give it to me. I went to all other commercial banks. They couldn't help me. Then I went to business partners. They say if I want to buy that, I must have a share that is given to them. There's a percentage they take, I don't know. But I've been to their offices in Westville. And at Itala as well, they told me the same thing. So, please, I'm pleased what the MEC has said, the Deputy Minister here, today, that changing all the red tapes that destroy us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So another one has been mentioned here, Itala. That would be KwaZulu-Natal, right? That's right, sir. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Kosi from Hotel 247 in White River, Mpumalanga. I've got good news and bad news. FNB couldn't fund us when we wanted to buy the business. But after we bought, they've been with us right through. So they are our banker and they're looking after us. I've applied for IDC 2 years ago. I was approved for solar. We started with the process now. I've applied. I'm currently busy with NEF, and we are on the process. And I must say, there's a lot of documents that they're requiring. But when you give it to them, guys, that's when they are also able to help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You see, part of what I like from what you have said, ma'am, and I appreciate you for sharing that, is that we also need to have an engagement, a conversation among ourselves as entrepreneurs, because this thing is not a one-way street, right? So if you ever had an experience where you did things in a particular way and that led you to a positive outcome, it's important for us, who may be facing challenges, to go and grab our colleague there and say, hey, how did it work for you? How did you do it? Okay, so let's go to the gentleman at the back, please. And then we'll wrap up with, I see Toli signaling there's one here. Or there are two here, and then I'll come back to the panel. Please, sir, keep it short.
Just trying to get it to work. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to speak. And I think there might be a few more people at the back who would like to raise their opinions. My name is Murad Ismail. I'm from the Emerald Group of Companies, and I'm also on the South Africa-Saudi Business Council. I also sit on the sub-panel that looks after tourism and entertainment, and it includes airlines as well and hotels. The Saudis are investing roughly $10 billion into the economy this year, into South Africa. And you need to, I've been to Saudi Arabia now, and that investment is not easy to do without a local DFI that can come on board and manage these funds with us. So we've put in a project for asset base for tourism that includes buses, hotels, aircraft, and even cruise boats and so on. And that particular project is about 996 million rand, so not billion, $1 million. And that's about $1 billion. And to unlock that, we need to have your input. Now, I've been sitting here for the last day and a half listening to all the presentations. And in fact, the last one, just before we had the tea break, was talking about innovation, why some of these big companies fail. So if you want to innovate, you have to start already at the banking level or your funding level, where you must allow innovation and don't stifle it at that point already. So I've had a situation where I've been to one of your funders. I'm not going to tell you which one, because I want you all to realize the same issue applies to all of you, is that you need to take a little bit of risk. You need to allow new and innovative operations to take place and actually fund those kind of things. Stop looking for proven activities and start opening up things that are not yet proven, that are about to become cutting edge. This is what your job is. You keep looking for venture capitalists, you keep looking for other things. The answer lies with you. So you need to open up a bit more, allow a bit more of this uncertainty, and that will give you more business in the future. If you're not sure about that, just look around you. This is a casino area down the road. They put some money aside and treat it like a casino. Maybe we can have everybody enter a lottery or something, and it doesn't matter what the business plan is. That way you might get a much better rate of return than what you currently get on your investments. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that comment. Much appreciated. Thank you. And then I'll take these two, this side, three this side, and then I'll get back to the panel. Since you have the mic, let me start with you, and then I'll go to the gentleman and the lady in front here.
Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Lebogang Piladi Khasago. I am the founder and owner of the Leonora Group. So I'd just like to say a huge congratulations to SEDA, not SEDFA, to SEDA with the growth that they had in my business. I started in the tourism industry 2022, they upscaled, they trained my staff and myself. We moved from just managing one property at the time to now managing 96 properties in 3 years. So as a person who's in the rental arbitrage Airbnb space, it's an interruption that is coming into South Africa, like your Uber, your Bolt, and we are doing it on an SMME level. So whenever we go, so we are compliant, fully compliant. SEDFA will take us on trading shows, wherever they support us with non-financial support. Now the issue is, like what the sir just spoke, the innovation part of it, when you say you don't take risk, or because this is a risky business, it's not a new concept module. I know that many institutions have got CSI budgets and enterprise development mandates. So my question now is for, I didn't get your name, ma'am, but we're wearing the same color, so yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the name, just say the question, please.
Yeah, so my question is, why can't these CSI resources be used more intentionally to train, incubate, and de-risk, also including the MAMs in the townships and the tourism entrepreneurs, instead of leaving us out because we are too risky? And I think instead of saying, come back when you're fundable, because I am fundable at the moment, rather say to us, let's partner with you, train you, understand your business model. That way, the banks still make money, the entrepreneurship grow, and then real transformation takes place. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. And then the gentleman and the lady, and then we'll come back to the panel.
Dumelang bagolo.
Yes, sir.
The name is Christopher Tai. I am the CEO of Mangwe Game Trackers. We're an outdoor adventure business here in the Northwest. We also specialize in safari. By the way, I don't envy you guys. I used to be where you were. I'm an ex-DFI specialist myself, business partners, TBCSA, NEF, the works. I've walked the journey. My question or a recommendation would be, we are running a very successful business here, and we incubate tour operators, 44 of them to be specific, that do travel and tours to and fro bringing guests here. We know that it's going to take them 10 years at a minimum to be able to be fundable because they don't fit the profile of what a DFI would do, the credit score, everything else. Is there a model that can accommodate a player like ourselves to be able to incubate these operators so that they can get access to the necessary tools, being the vehicles? We've created access to market, so it has ticked the first box out of some of the issues that you would raise. But they are not in a position to raise funding, but we are willing to work with them for them to be able to get more vehicles because they're getting business from us. So that's the question really, and a challenge to you to say, look at funding differently, as opposed to just funding individual businesses. Perhaps we want to look at a stokvel approach, where we can put these players into one box, a big player anchoring them to be able to access funding. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's very helpful. Thank you. And then the lady, and I'll come back to the panel.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sarah, the owner of the multi-award-winning Septi Branding Solutions. So some of the awards that I've won have come with a lot of money. So I enter a lot of business competitions and I win, and I believe it's because I'm also championing some of the sustainable development goals, which is, some advice I'd like to give to some of the SMMEs. Corporates are looking for suppliers that are value aligned in terms of SDG goals. So there's also a lot of business competitions that you guys can enter in order to win the money that you need. So it's not just approaching banks or business partners, etc. Thank you. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, that's very important. You've identified another source there, so they could enter business competitions and thereby attract funding. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so who wants to go first from my esteemed panel here? Yes, sir. Here, Mr.
Yes,
T.
thank you. I'll take the gentleman's question. So Business Partners was founded about 44 years ago. We were previously the Small Business Development Corporation. And at that time, when we were established, many entrepreneurs did not have have security. So that's why we used to take shares in the business to compensate for that. Our business model has changed from 1998. So you probably approached us prior to 1998, around that time. So now we don't take shares, and we also found out with SMEs, it's difficult to have an interest, a vested interest or equity in the business and control the outcome of that deal. Many of those businesses don't thrive to the next level, 10-fold, 20-fold. So those models don't exist at Business Partners anymore. It's just state funding requirements that any financial institution would handle.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
I'll talk to the game tracking incubation. I might have a solution for you, so let's talk after this.
Fantastic. You see, this is what we like. We like solutions. Thank you, sir. SEDFA?
Okay, thank you. I also want to respond to the gentleman with the game farm. It was Tokite, sorry. Game tracking, okay. I think you were talking about other funding models, maybe that will be able to allow the startup to access funding, as you were mentioning that it can take up to 10 years. So in the organization, when you notice our funding model is a very progressive model. We've got a fund that 50,000 below, where we consider it's a grant. As far as I know, I think we've dispersed over 20 million. I don't know even one that was rejected. You applied, you are trained, you apply to run a business, you are told on the documents that you require. In fact, we've got a fund, we fund even informal, someone that is not even registered, don't even do a company registration, because it's our role to formalize businesses. We will formalize once we fund it too. So from, as I said, 50,000 below, then we've got a fund that, a grant from 50,000 to 250,000. In this province alone, this financial year, in 9 months, we've approved about 112 SMMEs on the 250,000 grant. I've seen a lot of beneficiaries here that have been approved. Then from 250,000, we've got a fund, TREP, Township and Rural Economic Development Program, which is also a blended finance. It can go up to 80% grant funding, then 70% can be a loan. But it's just not a standard like that, depending on the criteria. So it can go up to R1 million. So you can see these funds, they cater for everyone. They cater the startup. They cater for someone that is at the ideation stage of the business. So that solution exists. We do have it in our office. You must visit us, you'll get it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We come to FNB and then to BDO. Let's start with FNB.
No, I think my colleagues have touched on a number of things. Maybe 2 things that I want to touch on my side. I like the gentleman at the back who mentioned the involvement of Dubai as a DFI to resuscitate or to support certain industries. There is a lot of DFIs playing a role in various spaces. SMME is a big focus for a lot of international DFIs. I mean, there's one now with the International Finance Corporation, where as First Rand, we made an announcement of about a 1.8 billion rand de-risking, because banks have got a criteria, obviously, but there are some businesses that are not necessarily going to meet the criteria because of various reasons. These DFIs, like the gentleman has said at the back with Dubai, and it's the first time I'm hearing of it, so it will be good to get more detail from him. But the IFC one, for an example, is looking at funding those businesses that ordinarily wouldn't be funded by a bank, where the risk is shared now between the bank and that DFI. And it is to solve for some of these issues that are faced. So thanks for letting us know about the Dubai one. The second one for me is innovation. At various stages of your cycle, your life cycle as a business, you start as a startup where you're putting in your money, skin in the game, and you demonstrate that the concept works. And you want to scale it now. That's where you start approaching the bank. And you're still at a beginning stage. And I think at that time, because maybe you will get a deal with Sun International where you do tour operation, they will probably pay you within 7 days or whenever. But you want quick funding to seize the opportunity. That's where, for me, innovation comes to play, where we've got scored tools where we look at your behavior, what money comes into your bank account, what you do pay, and using that data, we are able to score you and give you a facility that you can quickly inject and take opportunities. So at various stages, we try to innovate to accommodate our clients. And I mean, where you have a big invoice from, let's say, Sun International, we've got a product called single invoice discounting that we make it available where maybe Sun International will pay you within 30 days. You have to pay your staff, you have to pay your people in that 30 days while you're doing more business. So what we do, we look at that invoice from Sun International. We know they're good for the money. We will discount you, we'll give you the money. And in 30 days' time, when Sun International pays, we take our money, we give you the rest, and then so it goes. So there's various ways of funding you as you go through your journey. And the bigger you, because I don't want you to be an SMME forever. I want you to thrive. I mean, that's where support from BDO, non-financial support from my colleagues becomes more important now to say, can you see your business is growing now? How do you prepare your business now for that next acquisition, for that bolt-on service that you can provide to Sun International? Your record keeping becomes more important now because we can't always do scoring and look at behavior. Because you need more money now, you are taking more risk. How are we able to now look at your financials? So that guidance, that engagement becomes more important. So I thought I'd share that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Leanne?
Thanks, Septi. Thanks. I just want to say that it has traditionally been very tough for operators in the tourism sector to get funding. I mean, we all know that. COVID hasn't helped. But listening to the panelists today, listening to everybody in the audience, I'm quite buoyed and I'm quite excited about the fact that we're all on board in recognizing the role that tourism has to play in our economy and recognizing that we need to support these businesses. So I think kudos to the gentleman sitting here. I think thank you, and I think this is great, and we can take it forward and we can improve, absolutely. I do agree with some of the panelists, or not panelists, you panelists out there, with some of the audience in terms of their views from an innovation perspective, the risk perspective. It is a challenge. We do understand that tourism, the subsectors in tourism, a lot of it is quite risky businesses, and that's why DFIs have such an important role to play. But I think that the lady in the same color, had a wonderful concept and idea in terms of using the CSI/ESD funds from an innovation perspective. In other words, testing some of those innovative ideas. So in other words, not just using it for developing and incubating new SMMEs, but actually for incubating new ideas as well for existing businesses. And I think that's a fantastic idea, and maybe that is something the TBCSA can take forward.
Thank you. I mean, yes, I think this is very helpful information, and I actually had a question related to the gentleman there. I'll come to that. So earlier there was mention of, as one of the key challenges, the information gap. And you've spoken about mechanisms that are put in place to provide de-risking in view of that information gap. And I wanted to just come back to SEDFA, because I know SEDFA used to have a credit guarantee scheme, which is quite an important de-risking mechanism. Can you share with us a little bit about that Is that scheme still in place? How does it operate? How does it benefit the folks here who are looking for funding? And anyone else who understands or is involved with an instrument of that nature. Please, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. We still do have, yes, a cooler credit guarantee scheme. In case you've got an arrangement maybe with the banks, they want to loan, but you don't have some sort of a collateral, we do a guarantee so that they can loan that. That means we take the risk on behalf of the bank in order for you to be assisted with any other funders. And also, I just want to mention that when we do, in terms of the information gap that you're talking about, we not only assist on the pre-investment for only the application that's go to our lending department. We've got a very good relationship with ITC here in the Northwest. Every deal that they do, they refer it to us to say, will you be able to add on a non-financial support? Will you be able to add on maybe a mentorship for this business? We see the entrepreneur is lacking information on this. Can you provide a technical training on this? What commitment? Do you have any other grant funding that can augment the loan? Because sometimes what we notice with the MSMEs, they like to maximize the gearing, which has become a big problem in terms of running the business. When we always encourage it, please try to borrow what you see it's needed in the business. Because I had an example with one client that called me and said, I was approved for 7 million, I'm struggling to pay. But when you start to check, the 7 million did not inject any, not much revenue to the business so that it can be able to substantiate why so much loan. So we always got those mechanisms to say, when ITC is giving you 2 million, we said, no, we can add 500,000 as a grant. Then if maybe the bank is willing to give you money, but they've got issue of the collateral, we've got cooler credit guarantee scheme that can be able to come in there to minimize the risk on your behalf. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, when it comes to a question like the one that came from Mankwe, game tracking, where they're talking about acquisition of vehicles to deliver the service, isn't there a case that can be made there for looking at mechanisms like asset leasing rather than outright purchase? In that particular case, it doesn't apply in all cases, but would that be a mechanism that would be applicable there?
Yeah, possibly. It is something to consider. Reality is, I think what the gentleman said, it probably takes 10 years for that business to be able to service any form of debt, if I understood you correctly. So during that incubation phase, if you are gonna give an asset-based funding or give them a lease, they still need to pay their rental. And to my colleague on the left, what you don't want is to hamstring and create stress in that business. So what you need there is some sort of a grant funding. Reality is any traditional form of funding is not going to work to incubate because there is a serviceability. And I like the point you made in terms of we ambitious and we. When you look at opportunity, you evaluate and you see your business thriving. And really, the financial institution sometimes might say, this is the potential based on what you want. And sometimes you take the full potential without putting measures in place to ensure that you service the debt. We want you to thrive. We want to make sure that whenever we give you the funding, you are able to repay it. And when you repay it, it creates a history, and we can fund you more, and you can go for opportunities. What we don't want is to see you stressed, and we never fund business to come back to you and then we take your property. We want you to thrive so that you grow and we all grow together. So the point you've made is very important, that we have a responsibility to lend responsibly to you, and we always need to marry the two.
So we're coming to the end of our time. We are into the last 10 minutes of our time. Now, I want to put a question. In fact, let me just check. Is there any just one hand? Okay. There's
one at the back.
There's a gentleman right in front here. Can you see the gentleman? Loli, is there a gentleman at the back? I hear a voice.
There is one at the back as well, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's two people, it's the gentleman in the front and the gentleman at the back. Those will be the last ones. Please render them very quickly so we can get these good people to respond.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I think up to now the council has fed us with a lot of information, and I just wanted to know how hard it is to just come with your teams of adjudicators for funding. Maybe let the council, TBCSA, incorporate the application portion into the registration, so that if you can just fund 100 businesses, that when we come out of this conference, we know that 100 businesses were funded. So I just want to know how hard is it for the funders to bring their teams of adjudicators and just fund 100 of us here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Hey, Brajari and Chief, your conference is changing, guys. You need to think about that for next time. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dylan Jamini. I'm CEO and founder at Rise Africa Technologies. And yeah, we are venturing into the tech space to lead Africa into the future in tech and innovation. So I wanted to share some insights, but I also do have a question. And would you say lack of digital presence is one of the main contributing factors to the lack of growth in the SME sector? And do you agree that 80% of our SMEs rely mostly on social media apps to connect with clients? However, those platforms' algorithms aren't built to cater to our local SMEs. Have you looked into digital solutions that are effective enough to help boost SME digital visibility? And some insight I would like to share is where's Lebu? Is she still here? She was discussing the social media and how social media is important for SMEs if they want to grow. There were certain points that I didn't agree with, because as somebody who grew up around social media, I believe that social media and OTAs should be distinguished and should be identified as two different things, nothing similar. Social media like TikTok, Instagram, and X, those platforms were designed for specific reasons. TikTok is a dancing app, not a place that you go to push your business. And you can push your business there, I completely agree, but it's not made for that. And I think building platforms that cater to businesses and focus on businesses like SMEs are essential and are needed to better and improve the SME sector in South Africa. And that's just my insight into that. Thank you so much, and yeah, that's it.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, sir. So any response from the panel here before we wrap it up?
Yeah, well, maybe I'll start with from FMB. I mean, we embrace digital tools. I think I've mentioned in terms of support, providing funding solutions digitally. You can actually apply and get approved within hours digitally, obviously provided in terms of your history and the data that's available. You qualify. But I mean, people can apply for a loan and get it approved and sign a document digitally without actually engaging with someone. So that's the innovation that is available within our space. And we expose our clients and businesses in all the digital platforms. We take testimonials and this sector is a key sector for us. And the partnership that we're having now, we're starting with TBCSA. We hope it will continue, and we can play a pivotal role, I mean, within the tourism entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Business partners?
Yeah, just with regards to digital transformation, in terms of getting a bigger reach out there nationally, with business partners as well. We've seen the need for it, and we've also got an online application portal. So you won't get where you phone in and you get an investment professional coming out to your business. If you've got all the pertinent and relevant information that we require initially to assess the business, you go online, submit your information, and immediately thereafter, we will contact you and look at it and consider the application.
Thank you, sir. SEDFA?
Yeah, our applications are all digital, and over and above that, we also try to pay a lot of money to assist clients to move to digital advertising because we've realized that there's a lot of market there. So I will urge you to visit our offices. If you want to be assisted to digitalize your business, we will assist you there free of charge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. ITC?
I think there are two elements to the digital conversation. So part of my portfolio is investing in technology. So we promote digitization across multiple sectors, Internet of Things, and all sorts of things. But also what we've realized as well is that from a tourism point of view, digital presence tends to become very key in pushing the business. And part of our assessment actually is to figure out your go-to-market strategy and how you leverage these digital platforms, how easy it is for you to do business. What I found very interesting during this conference was this whole e-visa process to show that now we are moving fast towards a digital world. But what we always also observe is that there is a section of our community that is not digitized. So we should not leave them behind in pursuit. We still need to follow the traditional print paper and those elements for us to share the information that they need. Because our society is very dual in terms of how people are able to move with the trends. That's all for now.
Thank you, sir. BDO, any comment?
From a digital perspective, I think the gentlemen have sort of covered it from a funding point of view. I would just like to add as well that being digital and putting your documentation, having everything online is imperative. So make sure that you adopt everything that we've been talking about, we went through AI yesterday, we spoke about marketing today, using social media and using digital platforms. Make sure all your back office functions and everything as well is digitized as well. Just make your life easier. It's all there.
So thank you. So in the last few minutes that we have left, so we've spoken about traditional or conventional lending, we've spoken about grants, we've spoken about invoice discounting, we've spoken about the possibilities of asset leasing and that kind of stuff. Are there any other instruments that you just want to shout out so that our audience here would understand what other instruments are out there that they can take advantage of without limiting themselves to the instruments that we've discussed?
Fantastic. I had a lady talking about buying property. So my portfolio is wide. I look after commercial lending right across from zero turnover business all the way to listing. And obviously my colleagues within the bank from RMB takes over from listing. So we've got a myriad of products available. So you've got a B&B or a guest house, you want to buy another one, we do commercial property finance. It's another area that we cover. We do business acquisition finance. So you want to buy another business, you're looking for a leverage finance, or you want to empower your staff, because in your businesses, staff retention becomes key. Sometimes you want to empower them and have them buying into the business. We do all of those management buy-ins. And some people sometimes, having been to these conferences, you've run a business and you're looking at retiring and bringing in someone else. We do those management buyouts as well. So we've got a myriad of products available.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Business partners?
Thank you, Program Director. Yeah, I know you've got a few more minutes left, so I'll be quick. With business partners, we offer commercial property finance, 100% if you own your own B&B, you want to expand, so we can finance that 100% for you. If you need a working capital injection, asset funding, short-term funding, and technical assistance. So if you need assistance in terms of financial aspect, your marketing aspect, we can throw that funding as a whole with your entire funding need.
Thank you, sir. SEDFA, any
Yes,
other instruments?
I think I've covered some of the investment instruments that we have in the organization. We've got asset finance, we've got property finance, we've got bridging loan, we've got revolving credits, we've got cooler credit guarantee schemes, we've got soft loans where the interest can be up to 5%, we've got grant funding, that can go up to 5 million rand. Yeah.
Thank you. IGC?
I think the only other scheme I want to talk about is the youth funding scheme. We have highly concessionary rates. We can fund up to 50 million for youth-owned enterprises at prime -3.
Thank you.
And it comes with project preparation support, by the way.
Thank you. Leanne, I don't know if you want to add anything?
No, I just want to add, I just want to say, do not underestimate the value of bootstrapping. Taking money from within your business, saving, looking after it, using that money to grow. It's difficult, yes, but don't underestimate it. It also gives you good credentials when you go into your funders. Don't underestimate the value of, for those in startups, the value of family funding, your own money, angel funding, crowdfunding techniques. Be creative, like this lady did, what she was saying in terms of entering competitions. Don't think it all has to come from the banks and the traditional funders. Be creative, think a little bit wider in terms of where you get money from, and it certainly helps you in terms of getting credentials when you need to go to the formal funding institutions.
Thank you. So we've come to the end of our time. Thank you for engaging, and thank you to the panel. Let's give them a round of applause, please. And I just want to wrap up by saying two last things. One of the biggest sources of financing for small business is their own internally generated funding. And so the people who take forever to pay small businesses are hurting small businesses. And the minister did say that here. Whether it's government departments or corporates who take more than 30 days to pay an SME, that is a shame. We need to put an end to that. Because if SMEs can actually use their own money from their own operations, they don't need to go to these folks. You know, and these folks can really focus on those who do need the money. But sometimes SMEs have to go and look for funding because our big organizations, both in government and the private sector, are sitting on their money, which is why we should be so happy that the Department of Small Business Development is coming with this ombud, right? And that is a place where we're going to go and report all the ones who take forever to pay small businesses. Small businesses can operate without cash flow. The last point I wanted to make is FinFind, if you want to write it down, as a platform that you can use also to check and see many of the funders we're talking to here, and many others who are not here, are on FinFind. So you go there and it guides you in terms of some of the things, how you should prepare yourself to be investment ready. Right? We haven't spoken about investment readiness, but you'll get a lot of information there on FinFind online. So with that, thank you. We've come to the end of our time. Thank you so very much to all of you. Another round of applause as I release the panel.